let the momentum go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello in a big way there, but lost double-digit yards on that sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Powell. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat when the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
Powell down to throw it. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
I certainly felt for Sam Howell watching him fall from a possible first-round pick at one point all the way to day 3 of the draft, but it's just extra fuel for a guy now who drew comparisons to some of the league's most fiery competitors at quarterback. When he gets into a tough spot, Howell knows how to create and make some impressive reads and also some impressive runs. And I think that's how he'll succeed as an NFL quarterback.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap, Fields. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at the...
Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Commanders 7, Bears nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because
Fields is intercepted for a third time. And the Commanders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now, 1st and 10 here for Howell and the Commanders, right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop it behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. On 1st down, Howell. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing here, Howell. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd down throw for Howell. And I think the ball's out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Fields. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're touchdown.
Terry McLaurin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Commanders will extend their lead here just before halftime. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A final shot before the break. Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Powell. And this one too low.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long, here's Howell. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Washington going to send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here comes Pettis on the return. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, here's Fields. Open man right side is St. Brown. He's got room at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Howell, another throw on 2nd down. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. 2nd down, Howell now. Complete, it's Dotson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Howell throwing on first down here. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Jahan Dotson. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 14-yard line.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. On 2nd and goal, Powell. And it's caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course, you got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Going right back to Dodson. So he stopped for no gain. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Fields. And now here is another interception. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Takes it at the 7. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now,
open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's Howell. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bears have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Santos for the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. But the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Washington. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Fields on first down. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, here's Fields. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing again is Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are right back in this football game. Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ball game.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. Locates Mooney on the out route. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
Big 3rd down. A field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first. Now Fields. Caught by Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Fields now to throw. And that is incomplete here. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And if you're thinking field goal from here, it's 48 yards. I think they'd like to get him a little help now on third down and move it closer. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run with Robinson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Brian Robinson Jr. with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to move back in front. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Howell's throw complete to Dotson. 2nd and 7. Here's Howell. And that one complete to Hodgins. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Howell to throw. Quick slant, Dotson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. He's back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the Bears have just about sewn up this football game. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Robinson with another carry. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for Chicago, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the new